Today on Founders Thoughts, I thought it'd be important to kind of share one of the best exercises I have for managing emotions. When you run a business, you know that you'll get every single emotion from super great times and happy times to anxiety and stress times. So it's important to be able to regulate those emotions. A lot of business owners or just a lot of people like to shove those emotions away, not feel those things. And over time they add up, and they add up into the point where you either just stop feeling all these emotions together and you end up feeling null, end up getting depressed, or you end up working so hard that you burn yourself out. And so one of the exercises and the practices that I've done has been very useful for me to kind of manage a lot of these emotions is by using an emotion wheel. A lot of times you'll get a ton of different emotions, and so when they all kind of come together and you don't know how to dissociate them from each other, they end up becoming this like big ball that you don't know how to break apart. And so sometimes you might feel like you're feeling one emotion, but you're actually feeling 9 or 10 different ones. And so let me kind of take you through a bit of the exercise where if you're dealing with a hard situation or you have a certain feeling around a certain event that happened, what is the feeling that you're going to be getting from it? So let's use 2 examples. We'll choose a happy example like, hey, I just closed a customer and I feel great. So I'd literally go through this circle, and it might be hard to see. You can basically Google search emotion wheel on Google and this will come up. And so if I closed a customer just recently, what do I feel? Am I feeling love? Probably not, but let's go through it. So compassion, caring, infatuation, passion, attracted, sentiment, fondness, romantic. No, not really feeling that. Am I feeling any joy? Am I feeling enchanted? No. Jubilation? No. Am I euphoric? Not really. Zeal? Am I excited? Yes, I'm excited. Am I hopeful? Yes, I'm hopeful. Am I eager? Yes, I'm eager to work with the customer. You go through blissful, joyful, delighted, amused, satisfied, pleased. I'm probably going to feel satisfied. I'm going to feel pleased with myself. Maybe I feel a bit of surprise because I didn't know if I could close that customer, or awestruck that I closed a huge customer. Right? So you go through the whole wheel, right? And on the other end, you have sadness, anger, and fear. So say on the opposite side, you lost a customer. I'm likely going to be feeling some sort of sadness, right? Maybe I felt a bit guilty because I couldn't do work at the level that I wanted to do. Maybe I feel depressed because I didn't want to lose that customer. Maybe I'm feeling fearful because I feel inadequate or in fear that my service wasn't able to do what I needed to do. Maybe I'm having some panic. The whole process of this is every single time, whenever you get the chance, taking the time to go, okay, what am I feeling and how am I feeling it? What it starts doing is that it starts breaking apart all of these emotions so that you can actually start feeling them one by one. And when you do it, you actually allow these to release. One of the best things I've heard is that when you're a child, you experience emotions fully, right? So if you're angry or you're sad, you feel them fully and then they go away. And they typically don't last very long. They take, a minute or a minute and a half. But for us as adults, we've learned that certain emotions we don't want to feel. And so they actually end up holding longer. We're afraid to feel them. We're afraid they'll take over. But you're no longer a child. You have an adult brain, you have a mature brain, and you can handle these emotions. And when you let them pass through, it actually allows them to go through and shift and change and actually release from the body. And it's weird to say that. I am an engineer, and so a lot of the stuff I think about is logical, but the whole emotional aspect uses the right brain, and I can't tell you the feelings that I get. Like, for example, when I go through a hard emotion and I process it, it releases out of the body and you just feel so much lighter. And so if you're running a business, you're going to have tons of emotions, and I think one of the ways to do emotional regulation is through using this exercise that I just shared. Also, I wanted to share a pro tip that I use when I'm using the emotion wheel. When I write down the emotion, I know that there are different levels. So for example, if I'm feeling caring, for example, in the moment, I'll say that I'm feeling it at a medium level. But maybe I'm feeling excited at a high level. And then maybe I'm feeling anxious at a low level. There's different levels when you're going through these emotions or going through different periods. So it's important to highlight when you're writing out the emotion to also give it a value. Is it medium? Is it high? Is it low? And so it gets you getting the feeling of like, okay, what emotion is the primary emotion and what are the secondary emotions that are playing off of that? So I hope it's useful, and I'll continue sharing different things around founder insights. It could just be things that are happening in my business, things that are growing, things that I've done well. But it's also a lot of this mindset stuff that I think it's super important that I'm learning along the way and would love to share because I know I'll likely get tips and tricks back as well. So I hope it was useful. I hope you enjoyed the founder share today.